with you guys. We're giving you a lot of tips and a lot of suggestions of how you should, integrate culture within your homes and your schools. And again, we want to share with you the resources that we do have for you guys and that we're continuing to develop. So on the call, we have our Director of Student Development, Stephen Glaspie, and he's just going to go through, I know we have shared care before. So Stephen, you can kind of gauge of how much, I know we're getting close on time, so how much you do want to share on a recap, but really hit home on the new and upcoming stuff, Stephen, and how care does connect cultures and really does aid our students. So I'm really excited to have Stephen share that with you guys.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here with everyone. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly go through how we utilize care to really connect cultures. As you see on any email at the bottom from us, our mission is really to expand human perspectives and world harmony through education. And we do this, I think, the best way possible through our Cambridge Care program that really blossomed and expanded during COVID. It's hard to think something wonderful came out of COVID, but what did really come to fruition was this Cambridge Care program and how we were able to take what we were doing on a smaller scale pre-COVID and really build it up to have a fully fledged online program for our students, host families, natural parents, and schools. Next slide, please. So our Cambridge Care program, just to recap here, consists of several different components, and all of these components really do help us, especially with our students, to build in that culture piece and give our students a place to not only share their own cultures amongst one another, but also to give us a way to help them adapt and learn how to be successful in the US culture. And we do that through primarily our Cambridge Up classes. We have 2 of those every month right now. And we're going to be expanding that into an online library for the fall. We do that through our student council, where we bring together international students from across the US and really give them a place to collaborate and work together. You heard from 2 of our top student council members earlier, and they kind of shared some of their culture with you guys. We do that as well through virtual events, bringing in lots of great artists from various backgrounds, as well as speakers, as well as some of our own staff to really build out virtual events that are important to our students. And then we also have been expanding and building out, as I mentioned earlier, our online library for hosts as well as students to give you guys lots of resources. And I'll go into that a little more detail in a minute. And then lastly here, we are working this year. We really launched these webinar series for hosts. We also have one for natural parents to partake in, and we're hoping to expand that even more in the future. And the ultimate goal here is to really build up that cultural awareness and also give our students a place to learn and grow together. Next slide. So here is just kind of a breakdown of what some of these things are. As I, mentioned on the last slide, these programs really help keep communication flowing under our new structure coming out of COVID. Also, it allows trainings and resources for our host schools. It allows our students to connect, and it gives our students classes to develop social, emotional, and study skills, which we find now more than ever our teens are really needing that emotional and social support. Next slide. So this is what I'm going to focus on most here. We have some new and exciting things we're working to launch in the 23-24 school year to really build in more of this cultural awareness. One of those programs is cultural awareness training, where we want to try to offer more training to school staff and teachers. I've been spending a lot of time along with others, especially this semester, traveling around meeting with school officials and students and hosts, and I'm hearing a lot of questions. I think that's the biggest part of learning and understanding culture, as Matt mentioned earlier, is being able to break out of your comfort zone, ask those important questions, and not be scared to try something new or learn something new or approach something from a different perspective. So we're hoping to have more of that for our school staff and teachers, because I've heard from a lot of teachers that they haven't had a lot of experience with international students and they want to learn more. We're also working to build out a cultural awareness library, where there will be more resources, PDFs, videos, and files that external parties can pull from for various circumstances when they need a little extra support. We're also working to build out orientations that connect hosts and students instead of them being two separate entities, bringing everyone together, getting everyone on the same page from day one, and having a lot more orientation support. And then lastly, one of the bigger programs for our students, we're trying to build in mentorship, where students will have set times every month to meet with various members of our US team, as well as members of or as well as students across the US if they need, a peer to help them with something. And we're going to pull in our student council, work with them, and really try to build a nice mentorship program for students. Next slide. So how can you help if you're whether you're a school, a host, a student, get the word out there. Wendy sends out amazing emails every month. Make sure, check your emails if, especially if you're matched with a student, if you're a host right now, we're sending them out to schools as well. We have so many awesome things happening every single month, and we put so much time and effort and work into building these programs to really meet the needs of everyone. And we do surveys quite often, and we take everything that students, hosts, schools say to heart and really try to find creative ways to build that into our Cambridge Care program. So check your email, get the word out there, encourage your student to join some of these. If you're a host and a topic looks interesting, or a webinar, we had an amazing webinar on robotics recently. Join in. I saw there were some hosts actually on that call with the students, which was really exciting to see. Those are opportunities for you to get involved as well with the student. Next slide. And here, as I mentioned, portals. Wendy is our portal queen of the world, and she has created, she's shaking, she's like, stop it, Stephen. She creates amazing portals, and this has been invaluable. It's a one-click, one-stop shop where you can get anything and everything that you could possibly need, from travel forms to PDFs, all these different things. We have a care media portal with past classes. We have a documents portal with the handbook, travel form, guides, a host media portal with all of our past webinars and our host orientation. And then coming soon, we're working to get that school resource portal up and running as well to really help support our schools a lot more. Here's some examples of what you'll see when you get into those portals through Media Valet. We've got videos there. You can click, view, check things out, get the information you need very quick and easy. And here is a great one. We created these a few years ago, and we've continued to update these annually. We have a great documents portal. These are issues that a lot of students may face when they come into the home. We have a laundry cheats sheet you can print out, a guide on hygiene, a guide on kitchen safety, a guide on interaction with pets. These are all guides that you could pull from the portal, print them out, or just sit down, on a Sunday night and go through them with the student to really make sure they understand clearly expectations and have some real resources to read through. And then here in the documents portal, you can see we have links to all of our insurance information. We just did a huge revamp on our handbook last summer to really update it and bring it into 2023. So if you ever have, questions, or you're not sure about what information, especially if you're a host or school, that the student's receiving, check out that student handbook. Check out the insurance if you need some assistance there. All that stuff's going to be right in the documents portal. And hey, you're probably like, well, where do I go to get them? Well, we got the links right here through the QR codes. I think by now, most of us, I know I'm based in Chicago, we still use QR codes in our daily lives at restaurants and movie theaters everywhere. But if you're not sure, just open up your camera. It should pull the link right up. Save that link to your computer, save it to your phone. That way you can easily get to these very important portals. Give just a second here. Good. And then here's some high. Oh, thanks, Wendy. Just a second. Just make sure if you guys, if anybody is trying to access them or save them, you have that ability. If not, Wendy does send them out as well on her monthly emails. So if you're ever like, oh no, or reach out, we're happy to send those out to you again. And next slide. And then here are just some highlights. I mean, we've done so much this year, and I'm so proud of the work that Cambridge Care, as well as our student council and our young leaders, they've really helped us shape and pull together a really exciting program and challenge us to find these great speakers. As I mentioned, we've had a webinar. We have we're over all the socials now. We've had student takeovers. I did a takeover in Chicago. We have more student takeovers coming through Instagram. Our student voice has been amazing, putting together some great monthly content where students can connect and learn from one another, as well as our student council doing all the work that they do with their leadership team. So just lots of great stuff that we've had going on throughout the year.